Joining us now, the Majority Leader in the House of Representatives, Republican, the 7th District of Virginia, is Eric Cantor. Mr. Majority Leader, great to have you with us, sir.
John, it's great to be on.
Hey, let me just tell you before we start, I thought your speech in December at the Advance in Hot Springs was spot on, and I thought that speech in and of itself made the trip worth it.
Well, listen, I appreciate that and appreciate that sentiment. You know, we as conservatives have so many solutions that can actually work for people, and we have a tremendous opportunity right now in contrast to what's going on under the Obama administration with health care, with the economy, with the size of government in Washington and its negative impact on people. All we have to do as conservatives is unite and put our ideas forward, go on offense, do something positive for the people, and I believe that we will help this country be the best that it can be.
Now, Mr. Majority Leader, you've got a landmark speech, I think, coming up today at VMI. I want to go over that, and then we can get into the economy. Today at 11 a.m., President's Day at VMI. There's a lot of people, Mr. Majority Leader, that feel that our foreign policy right now is a miss. We've got people getting nominated for ambassadorships that have no qualifications at all. We've got a complete disaster in the Middle East, disaster in Egypt, and no one really understands what the objectives are. How do you solve that?
Well, that's part of what I'm going to be talking about today at VMI. You know, the American foreign policy that we know and we know that has worked is one that should be and has been driven by clear principles. One, we need to protect the homeland. Two, we need to defend our allies. Three, we need to continue to advance freedom, democracy, and human rights abroad while maintaining a military superiority that cannot be matched. Mm-hmm. This idea of a strong nation is what Ronald Reagan spoke about when he spoke about peace through strength. And too many allies of ours right now are questioning whether America is still committed to those principles and whether we'll still be there to stand by them. And I intend to give some remarks today at VMI to reiterate that we can't be about the politics of retreat and retrenchment, that this is a dangerous world we live in, and America has to be an America that leads and one that is committed to waging a battle between moderation over extremism and including efforts to shape a strategy in the Middle East and in Asia, Africa, and beyond.
So if you look specifically at our policy, let's just take the Syrian situation. We had John McCain with us last week, basically saying that we have no policy there to speak of. People are dying every day. What is your vision for, if you just take the Syrian conflict, how we should be acting and behaving there?
Well, you know, I believe that where we began to go wrong in the conflict was when the president drew the red line, saying that he wouldn't tolerate weapons of mass destruction being used by God against his people. And once that red line was crossed, America needed to follow through on its word. Our allies expect us to do so, and frankly, our enemies, in sensing that we did not do so, I think set us back as far as a military power and one that could wield respect and continue to project our influence and power for freedom around the world. And as we saw, this president grabbed a hold of what I say is a concrete life preserver thrown to us by Vladimir Putin, who guaranteed and promised that he would get the chemical weapons out of Syria. And to date, there's still too many chemical weapons left in the hands of that regime, and with the danger that those chemical weapons fall in the hands of more extremist groups and others who seek to vindicate their hatred of what the United States is all about. So we have got to have a strategy, as our allies in the region and in Europe, frankly, have been asking, a strategy that leads, one that says this is not easy, this is not going to be something that will happen overnight, but we've got to work towards supporting the forces of moderation. Otherwise, we're going to have an extremism that continues to breed in that region that, as we have seen, when we saw what happened in Afghanistan, Iraq is happening now, extremists will gather and project their hatred and ire toward.
Common Sense News Time coming up on 8:49. This is the John Fredericks Radio Show. We're with Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Eric Cantor, Republican from Virginia. Mr. Majority Leader, I want to go to Egypt very quickly. That military government now legitimized by a referendum, if you will, but there seems to be people still in the administration that are kind of aching for the time when the Muslim Brotherhood comes back. Why has not our government embraced the new government of Egypt, which on the surface is in our best interest, much better than the MB?
Well, I think that some of the mistakes that were made was the belief that democracy is just all about one free election, and then you're well on your way. Whereas we know the kind of Jeffersonian democracy in America that started right here in Virginia is one that is supported and bolstered by institutions, political parties, a transparency of government that helps protect freedom and human rights. There is nothing of the sort that is advancing in the country right now, and we need in Egypt, and there's so much lack of it in the Middle East. We need to lead on that. Mm-hmm. Again, we should be about protecting the moderates over the extremists and continue to fight towards building those institutions. So we're going to continue to try and work with the White House and its foreign policy to Egypt and trying to say that the Muslim Brotherhood should not ever be allowed to cloak itself in democracy and in a way convince somehow the U.S. government that it can be trusted and worked with. This is a terrorist organization connected with some of the most extremist groups in the world.
Mr. Majority Leader, we're almost out of time. Final question. I want to get to the domestic economy. A lot of conservatives were upset last week when they felt that leadership did not have a substantial debate on raising the debt ceiling and just essentially gave President Obama a blank check. How do you respond to that criticism from some conservative groups?
Well, I know since the House has been under a Republican majority, we have come in every week trying to advance the ball forward towards reducing the size of government, cutting spending, and expanding liberty. And we just do not have partners in the White House or the democratically controlled Senate under Harry Reid that agree that the increasing debt burden in this country is a problem. And they don't agree that we ought to do something about it. If they even begin a discussion about it, they'll pose solutions that don't work. All they do is try and continue to kick the can. And we've got to, as a country and as a conservative movement, say we're for an America that pays its bills. We are for continuing to cut spending, and we will continue to do that. We will be straight on into the budget season in the next month or so, and we'll continue to look at ways to force accountability, transparency, and make sure that we're doing everything we can to project our conservative solutions, which means a limited government, a strong national defense, and empowering people and individuals to chase their dreams. And we've got a robust agenda to try and respond to some of the economic malaise that continues to affect our country, and believe very strongly if we can promote some pro-growth, smarter economic policy that gears itself towards empowering individuals in the private sector, we can do something to continue to at least move the ball forward while we're trying to work with this president to reduce the deficit and grow the economy.
Mr. Majority Leader, do you see any action in this session on comprehensive immigration reform?
Well, the House has come down and consistently says we don't embrace the Senate bill. We will not take up the Senate bill. Everyone that I speak with, I think, realizes that we have a broken system of immigration. We don't want to support any bill that provides amnesty to someone who breaks the law. And so we've got to get straight on that first, and there's a real disagreement on the part of this president and with us on that point. And that's why you've heard a lot of us say we have to implement the law, enforce the law at the border, and then, I think, gain the confidence of the American people that we can allow our economy to continue to grow and fix the legal immigration system that is badly broken as well.
Okay, we are out of time. We want to thank Majority Leader of the United States House of Representatives, Republican Eric Cantor, for being with us today, and he has a major foreign policy and national security speech today at 11 a.m. at VMI. Sir, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you.
John, good to be on. Thank you.